So for those of you who are joining and don't know about um, Startup Weekend is in collaboration with Techstars and in partnership with People for Entrepreneurs. And all the participants started Friday night by pitching their ideas. And for the past 54 hours have been working tirelessly and perfecting and getting coaching and all these tools and resources, and had workshops throughout the past 54 hours, or I guess 50 hours right now. And today they will be presenting. We have 5 groups. And Caroline and David, do you want to introduce yourselves and say a little bit more about you guys?
Hi, everyone. Welcome. Congratulations to all of the teams that have made it past, made it through the weekend. I'm sure it was a lot to just commit to a weekend to build something and to build with new people, and for the judges, some context. We have people from all over the world. There's someone from Guam. There's someone from London, from the Netherlands, India. So we're really working on a really global scale. Most people I think are from LMU. But yeah, congratulations to everyone for making it this far. A little bit about me. So my name is Carolina Castro. I'm a community leader and entrepreneur in the New York City area. I work on community strategy within the tech ecosystem. I actually got my start, I guess you could say, or shifted my career path after my first startup weekend that I won, and kind of got addicted and did a few other startup weekends. But I really love being in this space, love supporting new entrepreneurs, and it's just a really special experience. So thank you everyone for being here. If any of your friends are presenting today, family members, it's a really special experience, I think, for everyone. So I hope we all enjoy it. Yeah.
My name is David Silva. I'm originally from Colombia. I did my first startup weekend back in 2011 in Colombia. And then after a couple of years, I decided to move to Silicon Valley to get into tech. I've been working for the past 5 years as a software engineer in healthcare startups. And I'm also the founder or the co-founder of a nonprofit that helps Latino people get into tech, because we're trying to, make sure, help that a lot of the new initiatives and a lot of the, access to tech becomes more equitable, so that there's more opportunities, because we believe that by giving more opportunities to more voices, we can create, better products and, serve the planet better, hopefully. So we're very excited to be here tonight. This is my second startup weekend online. It's always, it's a big difference, and it's interesting, trying to get used to it. Organizing it is different, participating is different. We're very excited that we have so many global participants. That's a very interesting shift. And we're very excited to see the presentations tonight. We're gonna let, I think, Bale, right, speak next. She has a few words, and then we're going to introduce the judges and then talk a little bit again about the judging criteria, and then we're gonna proceed to the pitches.
Validation is the first one. Here are the questions that they were tasked with answering. Execution and design, and lastly, business model. The judges have this, and the teams know about it, but just to give everyone context. And now I'll introduce the judges, and our dean will say a few words and welcome everybody, and then we'll go to the other judges.
So welcome everyone to another startup weekend at LMU. In most unprecedented of times. I'm looking at the picture you have up me on the screen there, Darlene, and I realize my hair's gotten a lot longer since the pandemic. Anyway, it's an absolute delight to welcome everybody, both the participants and the many audience members who are supporting our entrepreneurs. Those of you who know me, you know I'm passionate about the mission of our business school, to advance knowledge and develop business leaders with moral courage and creative confidence to be a force for good in the global community. And those words couldn't be even as important as they are in a weekend like this, because many of the ideas that have been percolating over the last 54 hours or so really pull at some of the knowledge, the skills and the abilities that are so inherent in our mission. And tonight, I think you're going to see a lot of that moral courage and creative confidence, that development of knowledge and skills, whether you want to be an entrepreneur or whether you just want to develop that entrepreneurial mindset. That's what Startup Weekend's really about. So I have a lot of hope in all of you. I'm looking forward to being a judge tonight. I grew up in an entrepreneurial family, had my own business, became dean and sort of let someone else run it. But I have a lot of hope for all of you and the ideas tonight, because I really believe that the hope for a post-pandemic recovery is in the mindset and the skills and abilities of tomorrow's entrepreneurs. So just know that long after tonight is over, our Kiesner Center of Entrepreneurship and the School of Business, with its many incredible faculty, our friends of the school, our alumni and our staff, are there to continue to support and incubate these ideas. So I hope you all take this as just the first step in that entrepreneurial journey. So with no further ado, back to you, Darlene, and we're anxious to get started judging.
Awesome. Okay. And if the other judges can introduce themselves as well. First we have Mylin Yamamoto.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here on a Sunday. I know what you've gone through in the past 54 hours. Not too long ago, I've been in your shoes. The first time I've ever pitched in a startup setting was at Startup Weekend. And later on, I found myself pitching to investors, and in 2017 on Shark Tank. So where you're at right now is a great experience and can lead you to more. So I'm the founder of Cropsticks Inc. and also Click Now, a talent management company. But I'm really a teacher at heart. So I'm really excited to be here, and good luck to everybody.
Thank you. Thanks for joining, Mylin. By the way, Mylin was also at Startup Weekend last year, and she was impressed with one of the teams, and now someone is working for her and interning, and so you never know where things can lead and what opportunities can arise. And last but not least, we have Tim Rogers.
Hi, I'm Tim Rogers, and I'm honored to be here on Sunday night. I can second Dean Smith's words about the entrepreneurial mindset and passion. And so I'm really excited to hear kind of all the different companies and their pitches. Just a little background on me. I've spent the last 20 years being a corporate advisor to small to medium-sized companies that are growing, usually going from one stage to another. So I'm kind of excited to hear where everybody's at.
Awesome. Okay.
Good to see you, Tim.
Hi, Dave.
So we're going to get started. Time to pitch, and this is the order that we'll go in. So we'll just go back to back, and the format is 5 minutes of pitching and then 3 minutes of Q&A. And if you're not pitching, just go ahead and turn off your camera. And for the rest of the teams who isn't pitching, when there's Q&A, feel free to turn on your camera, and we'll go from there. So I'll stop sharing, and Be Local, you're up.
Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Cole Lowy, and I'm joined here with my friend and co-presenter, Avi Aurora, and we're very excited to share with you Be Local, the first ethnic online grocery store. In our research, we found that 61% of consumers are not finding enough ethnic ingredients at their main grocery stores, and 59% of those people have to stop at 3 or more stores regularly to find what they need. In addition, we also did our own research and surveyed 207 moms in our target market of 22 to 60-year-olds with an ethnic background and a busy lifestyle, and found that these people almost all of them have shopped at specialty stores, and 67.5% of them said that they would be interested in using our service. And this is why we created Be Local, an on-demand grocery shopping service that specializes in bringing you ethically diverse groceries from locally owned businesses. And we make money in 2 key ways. First is a $5 to $7 service charge on each order. And the second is by adding 2 to 5% to the cost of items on average in order to fulfill paying delivery drivers. And we provide businesses with a platform that makes it easier and more efficient for existing and new customers to buy groceries.
So when a customer first arrives on our site, they enter their zip code and they can find ethnic stores near them. They can now browse and choose specialty stores in their area to shop from. Once they've chosen a store, they pick which items they would like, place their order, and pick a delivery time. And finally, we always want to ensure a great customer experience every single time. So after the delivery, the customer is prompted to leave a review on the delivery and the shop as a whole. Now, looking at the market, we project our serviceable obtainable market to be around $80 million. This is based upon the ethnicity and buying power of people in California, which will be our initial target base. And looking at the competitive landscape, in contrast to our competitors, we provide an ethnically focused, easy to use platform whose primary goal is to support struggling small businesses and to ensure a great customer experience.
And our team set out on a mission to find what grocery store owners thought of our idea. Mohan, Margaret, and Eric all had positive responses for our business, going as far as saying that they would sign up as soon as ready. Our go-to-market strategy is all about action. Step one is that we want to sign up and integrate the 3 local grocery stores that are already interested in joining our site and promoting the option to get groceries delivered from this shop to their customers. Step 2 is about acquiring our base customers, where we will utilize Facebook ads and point of sale references.
And so we wanted to test our model and make sure each step worked efficiently and as best as possible. We decided to run our MVP by asking our neighbors if they could benefit from this service, and then go to the store and deliver their groceries for them from a small service fee of $5. She absolutely loved it. And for our next steps, we want to start by developing the website, signing up more stores in the California Bay Area and Los Angeles area, and continue customer outreach and providing value. To accomplish this, we will require a funding of around $25,000, which will go primarily towards site development, customer acquisition, and shopper acquisition.
It is time for businesses to join the Hive and to find out what the buzz is all about. Thank you.
So I just, a couple of quick clarification questions. So you already tried this out. In other words, in doing the MVP, you guys actually worked with these 3 owners?
So we didn't work with the owner. They said that they would be interested in using the service once it's available. What Avi did was reached out to his neighbors and told them the idea and said, if you have any groceries you need, I'll go pick them up for you and then deliver it to your door. And that's what he did.
Okay, so that's what the picture was. So Avi, how much time did it take you to hit the different stores, put together the order, and deliver it to the customer?
So it took about 2 minutes to get the order from my neighbor. The grocery stores in my area are more spread apart, which is even more reason to have these kinds of services like the one we're offering. So it took me about 25 minutes each way to get there and get back. Because it's COVID right now, there's a little bit less rush. So it took me about 15 minutes to gather everything because I know the store, it was an Indian market and I've been there a few times, and going back. So it was about an hour process in total. But at scale, these orders would be for multiple people from the same store, which would allow more orders in the same amount of time.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Hi, I have a question. So when you surveyed your customer base, how did you know that they preferred ethnic grocery stores over, let's say, a Ralph's?
So our questions were tailored more towards the ethnic stores. Let me see if I can pull up the survey real quick. I can read you the exact question. It was, let's see, I have it up right now. So our question was, do you shop at ethnic grocery stores around your city? And our answers were yes, all the time, yes, sometimes, no, but would like to, and nope, never have.
And so the
Great.
goal.
And what was the percentage of the response?
Yeah. So let's see. Yes, sometimes was 55%. And then yes, all the time was 40%. And then the rest were the other options.
Great. And last question, how many people did you survey?
207 participants.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for the presentation. I just had one other question in addition to the other judges' questions. When you were doing your surveys to determine the interest level of users, did you include in there that their willingness to pay for the $5 to $7 service charge?
We did not put that in the survey, but from our research, what we got that number from was other grocery delivery services. Instacart, I think, is what we based our pricing model off of. They do a service charge of that amount, and then they also do the markup of items for delivery.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Tim.
Hi, I'm Jonathan, and we're at Dwellin. So I'm going to start with a story. This all begins with a rotten potato. I woke up one day, headed to the kitchen to make breakfast like always. Now, I'll admit living in an apartment with 5 guys leads to some weird smells, but this one smell in the kitchen was borderline toxic. I checked each cupboard one by one, finally got to one daunting door in the corner. I opened it and nearly keeled over from the stench. Sitting inside the cupboard was a sack of wet, rotten potatoes covered with maggots and mold. My roommate had left this wonderful gift in the kitchen for a month without telling anyone. Not only did he refuse to take it out to the trash, he refused to clean up the mess too. Experiences like mine are not common, but some people just aren't a good fit to live together. Our goal with Dwellin is to connect people with not just a roommate they can tolerate, but someone they can dwell with. So what's the problem? It's hard to find someone you want to live with. Existing apps are tedious and unreliable. As an LMU student, I have used the student housing matching site a couple of times. It has an outdated user interface, and the people it matches you up with often don't fill the criteria that you set. Our competing apps that have tried to solve this problem have also fallen short by soliciting scams, having bloated forms to fill out, and a difficult user interface. So how do we solve this problem? With Dwellin, our solution is an intuitive and user-friendly platform catered to the desires and interests of our users. Our goal here at Dwellin is to find and connect people with the right roommates as quickly and as seamlessly as possible.
Hi, my name is Ben, and today I'll be talking about our unique value proposition. So, what is unique value proposition? That's what makes us stand out. So we offer a safe, convenient, and customizable experience. So when users start matching right after account creation, they are able to connect right away. In addition, users are able to fill in details at their own pace. We will handle the nitty-gritty through our algorithm. In addition, we also emphasize safety to prevent scams and fake postings as well. So for our competitive landscape, we actually did an analysis on our 3 competitors, Roomie, Spare Room, and Roomie Match. And the 2 main features that were bought were filters and text chat. And we noticed that they didn't have a video chat, or their preference algorithm was not specific at all. At Dwellin, our goal is to innovate. So we will be implementing video chat and a specific preference algorithm to our app. And our marketing strategy right now, so our target demographic are Gen Z and millennials. So we will be tackling the higher education industry first, hopefully. And the 3 potential private SoCal schools we are pitching to at are LMU, Caltech, and USC. We're pitching to LMU first since we're students there, and I also work for LMU's ITS. In addition, I have already been working on 2 ongoing projects with the ITS department. In addition, I have connections with faculty and staff at Caltech and USC as well.
So we have 2 effective approaches to monetize Dwellin as a startup web app. First is advertisements. We believe majority of you have seen advertisements on the website. Every time you visit Dwellin, we will generate 15 cents. So let's say Dwellin has 100 visitors a day. So Dwellin will receive $15 by doing nothing. Second is subscription. Dwellin subscriptions offers new experience sensation of video calling your future roommates in order to see directly the whole house and talk face to face to your future roommates for the first time. Moreover, you will never see any advertisements when you become Dwellin subscribers. Besides the income that we generate, we don't need to spend a penny to develop the features because we have a capable developer in our team to build. We also receive customer validation. According to our customers, our web app is extremely user-friendly. Some of them also wish that they found Dwellen sooner because before they signed their current lease or when they're looking for the right roommates in the past.
So here's our team. I'm Jonathan Ye. I'm a junior computer science major, and my role is to develop the front and back end of our web app, as well as the algorithm that implements matching.
Hi, my name is Benjamin Chan. I'm a senior AIMS or ISBA major. I specialize in the business side of things, and I also have experience with data visualizations. In addition, I'll be working on developing relationships with our users as well.
My name is Halbert. I'm a senior AIMS major, and I'm a full stack web development. Thank you, and hope you dwell in with us.
Any questions?
So I've got a quick one for you guys. By the way, I love your backgrounds, very professional. It gave you a good setting. Same with the other team too. It was nice to see that professionalization, which makes this a great platform. Real quickly, in terms of your business model and how you want to monetize, I understand the advertisement, but I'm trying to understand the subscription model. If I'm looking for a roommate, once I connect with a roommate, why would I need a continued subscription?
Yeah, I can.
It seems like it's like, once you use it, it's done.
Exactly. Well, we are so confident that our product is so good that yes, even though once you're paired with a roommate, we believe that these people will leave good reviews and that will lead to more consumers. And we're not too worried about the first month. We're just so confident in our product that we're able to grab these users for the first month, even if it's free. And Halbert can talk a little more about the technology and the cost too as well, and why we can offer it at that price.
Okay, so for the technology part, we believe that we are the first web development that offer face-to-face video calling with the future roommates. And because we believe that we are the first, so we're gonna charge the customer with a subscription price. So this is the cost of technology. For the cloud Firestore, so we use Firebase as our host and as our server and our data store. So we use Firestore. For every GIP stored, we gotta pay $3.06 per month, and the other else is free because Firestore already provides us with a large amount of storage.
But the user pays for it every month, or it's okay if they just pay for it 1 month? I'm trying to get a sense of, in other words,
yeah,
profitability.
So they pay for it every month until they find a roommate, basically.
Got it.
And,
yeah, I understand.
And once we build enough users, we're so confident that we may even implement something like, if you don't find a roommate in 30 days, your money back.
Got it. Thanks.
Hi, I have a question. Do you have a business model that will allow the customer to continue with your services after college? Because once you graduate from college, right, sometimes you go out, get a new job, you need a different type of roommate. So have you thought about it? And if you have, what's your strategy for that?
Well, my original idea was to start at colleges and then open out. So when I first thought of this, I thought start at LMU and then open up to Westchester. I think Ben has a bigger picture. That's why we want to start at like 3 different schools and then open to the greater LA area.
Yeah, and to comment on that, John, if you can pull up the sound slides real quick, that's the 3 bubbles, and I can show you. We actually did the research on our market that's out of college too as well. Yeah, look, there we go. So we did do research on the millennial and Gen Z market. So to kind of answer your question, after college, we would love to implement it for people just looking outside of dormitory housing, obviously. And we will tackle the metropolitan area and the millennials in that area, which is about 48.7 million people for the millennials. And then for the people living in the metropolitan area, that's about 34.3 million as well.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi guys, thanks for the presentation. The other questions that were asked were actually some of my questions too. But one of them that I had written down here was, as your kind of initial reach out to the 3 schools, do you feel like the challenge is going to be, are you working with the schools just to get access to the student population, or are you actually trying to sell the schools on marketing this service internally with the rest of the things that they market to students?
So I would say the biggest challenge for us, even before all that, is just obtaining the access to the school's infrastructure and data for that, the technology, right? So we are very fortunate that all 3 of us have a very technical background, and we know that there's actually a lot of data that goes into creating an app like this. And the main thing and the main concern for us is talking to the school. And so with our belief, we don't believe that we want to sell to schools first. We don't really mind about that money part first. At the end of the day, our goal is to help people solve this roommate problem. And if we can help schools do that, if our first 3 schools are free and we don't make any money, that's fine, because our hosting and our technology didn't cost us much anyway. And we believe that once we use the schools to help us build out the product and we work together with these schools, we're able to develop a better customer base and experience outside of the school dormitory market.
Hi, we're Better Accounting Tool. We are a better accounting tool. This is our team. Better Accounting Tool has a skilled team of finance experts and designers. And for myself, I am a finance and accounting professional. So I have worked with a variety of businesses, and I've spoken to many owners across a lot of different industries. I've been fortunate to work with fintech experts, financial technology experts, VC firms, accounting professionals, and I've been asked to find solutions to a lot of different financial problems. One common theme that keeps coming up is how current accounting systems seem to fail businesses. QuickBooks Online is the one of the biggest players in this space. Innovation is not really seen as a priority in the field. And that's particularly surprising given that the accounting field is rapidly trending toward automation and efficiency. Accounting has traditionally been a time-consuming field, but with the industry trends, we're having to move away from that. Let's take one example. I'm a business who operates on QuickBooks Online. This is what I see when I go into my finances. On October 7th, I received $22,000 in deposits. I'm a business owner. I get paid by my customers with check, and I deposit them once a week. I need to be able to track my finances and close out my AR. When I log into QuickBooks, all I see is $22,000 that's in there. To properly close my financials, I have to go through a bunch of different steps. First, I have to go to my business bank account. I have to find the deposit on that day. I have to pull up every single image of the 7 different checks for that deposit and save them to my computer. Then I go back to QuickBooks. I take those images, I upload them to the file, I parse out the different AR to close it out. I create an auditable trail with attachments, and then I upload it to my cloud storage drive. This is an arduous manual process. Are you exhausted yet? Because this is just one example of a tedious process that exists with this software. If I'm a high volume business and I'm processing thousands of dollars in payments a week, you're talking about hours worth of wasted time going through these steps. Those hours add up to thousands of dollars in wasted productivity a year, and we all know that time is money. Our solution is to develop add-on apps for the existing QuickBooks Online marketplace. These apps focus on automation, commissions, and custom reporting, 3 areas that are currently lacking. Here's a simple mock-up of one of our automation tools. That process I just described, where I have to go into my bank and I have to download these images and I have to fall asleep describing it all over again, can be distilled down to a few simple clicks. I leverage existing APIs with the banks to be able to bring in the images directly to my accounting software system. I pull up a draft of the checks right there, tie them to deposits, attach them in an audit-proof format, an auditable format, and I also have the option to send it to my cloud storage drive. I've taken a process that took minutes and distilled it down to seconds. If my business also tracks commission sales, the current process doesn't exist. Our tool is also going to allow you to track closing out your AR and paying your salespeople for commissions based on the work that they've done and the sales that have been collected. The customer's payments are closed out, the bills owed to the salespeople are recorded, and you can send the check all with a couple clicks. We'll also have some custom reporting that is currently lacking on QuickBooks. This is probably more of a technical area, but if you're curious, I can talk more on that later. We've done some market research for different players in this field. Zapier and Workato are two companies that work with API integrations to connect tools together. While they have a ton of features, they're extremely difficult to use. Fathom is one that is a lot more intuitive, but doesn't have a lot of features. Again, it falls flat. Our tool is designed to bridge the gap between both. We have a few value propositions because we're taking advantage of innovation in that space. They're listed here. We also spoke to a few accounting professionals and financial experts in a roundtable, and they articulated their needs for this kind of custom reporting and the efficient processes that we're talking about doing. This is pushing the industry forward in a time when that's the trend. Our business model is pretty simple. We're going to develop software, gain customers, charge those customers a subscription revenue, find out from them what areas we can improve on, and repeat the process of developing more software. Our go-to-market strategy leverages the existing QuickBooks Online user base, currently at 3.3 million users just in the US market, and the existing developer apps marketplace where we can sell our app. We'll offer free 1-month trials and generate customers who understand our brand and the value we bring. The kind of market share we're talking about is pretty substantial. Just in the US alone, there are 3.3 paying customers for QuickBooks Online for a total market share of $1.8 billion. These are people who already pay for those services, but are not being as efficient as they can be. Our main targets are going to be accounting professionals, commission-based business, and other startups. They have unique needs and their investors need specific things. Thank you very much. Questions?
Well done. I have 2 businesses and I think those services are interested and also needed. I have a question on your process. So I'm a QuickBooks user. You create an app to integrate within QuickBooks, and then I pay an additional fee on top of what I already pay on QuickBooks to have your service integrated. Is that correct?
That's right.
Got it. Okay. Does QuickBooks have an I know you shared some other examples on the competitor matrix, but what's another example of an app integration with QuickBooks?
So right now, one app that works well with them is T-Sheets. It's a time tracking software. And so if you're a business that bills your customers based on the hour, you're able to track their time, pay a subscription fee to T-Sheets in order to track time, and then pass that billing along to your customers, all within your accounting ecosystem.
Got it. And how do you get approval from QuickBooks to integrate into their 3 million customer base?
They actually have a very robust and well laid out developer environment. So there's a very clearly substantiated process that lays out the steps you need to go through, security precautions that you need to take as a developer, and the method by which you need to design and pass their testing to be listed on the marketplace.
Okay.
Similar to the App Store and the iPhone.
Got it.
So Travis, tell me why doesn't QuickBooks just license the technology and build it as an all-in-one? I mean, it strikes me that with so many apps that are being developed in this sort of, even when it's an open source kind of environment, why not just license the technology? I mean, why is it that the iPhone app model for a business model is superior than licensing the technology of what you've created?
Sure. That's a great question. This is my personal belief. I believe that QuickBooks Online was an early mover in the cloud accounting space. They took advantage of the fact that people weren't doing this. They moved rapidly, and our research showed that they were growing about 25% year over year. So because they've been able to capture a large share of that market, innovation hasn't necessarily been their priority. But they do recognize that putting people on their platform is a huge cash cow for them. So they have a symbiotic relationship with their developers where creating apps on their platform encourages users to use QuickBooks Online, which drives more revenue toward them, and they're happy.
Hey, Travis. Thanks for
Tim.
the presentation. That was excellent. My question is, your primary market looks like it would be bookkeepers, accountants, controller types that are doing using QuickBooks, and they would use this as an add-on. how are you planning to reach them, since that's kind of a diversified market that's not easy to get hold of?
Great question. I think we actually have a couple different areas that we wanted to target. So we were looking at obviously those financial professionals, like you said. I'm pulling back my slide so I can reference that as well. Commission-based businesses, sales-based businesses is another big one as well. Currently, there isn't the ability to track commissions and show those contingent payments that might be liabilities for your company if you get your customer payments in. So as far as targeting those customers, the accounting professionals themselves, there's a variety of email newsletter space that are basically industry periodicals in the 21st century. They offer advertising opportunities on those emails. There's often affiliate programs that are associated with those. And so one idea is to leverage the accounting professionals who will immediately recognize this need and use them as a larger sales staff by offering affiliate bonuses, commissions, things like that for them so that they can get a win-win. They'll be able to sell their customer on a tool that makes them faster and more efficient while also getting a little bit of money back.
What's up, guys? My name is Drew Seibel.
My name is Daniela Vincent.
And this is Fast Year.
So did you know that the average concert is between 120 and 91 decibels, but anything over 85 decibels causes permanent hearing damage?
And we have created Fast Year to solve that. With our earplugs, we value style, safety, comfort, and a balanced sound. And the current earplugs on the market today force you to choose between style or not being stylish, not wearing earplugs or wearing earplugs. It's that simple. And our target audience with our product is going to be very niche, a very niche market. It's going to be people who are younger and who attend concerts and music festivals multiple times during the year. So not the average concert goer, but the avid concert goer.
So we took that target market and we asked them why they aren't wearing earbuds. The #1 response actually wasn't because of fashion reasons, even though of course it was in the top 3. The #1 response was sound concerns. That's why we took our customer needs into consideration when creating our product. You can adjust it to go as high or as low as you want.
And this is just an example of how you can match our stylish earplugs with a nice festival fit. And partnerships. This is going to be very vital for our business, as we expect when we launch our product that a lot of other companies are going to try to copy us. But what they can't copy is our partnerships. And we have already reached out to big EDM artists and rap artists and already have created prototypes for their earplugs. And we also, in the future, plan on collaborating with Lollapalooza as well as Supreme.
So our competition, as Drew said, our competitive advantage is that style, but of course also the sound, being able to adjust it as you want. And of course we are on the higher end of the price point, but if you look at the top 3 selling earbud companies, Eargasm is similarly priced as we are. So how do we plan on getting those first 100 customers? #1, running Instagram ads, because that's where the youth is at. And then of course, having them come onto our website, seeing if they want to pre-order, and then selling them on Amazon, and then having vending machines at music festivals and at concerts with lights and music. And then of course, partnerships, that's where the majority of our sales are going to come from.
And here is a little educational ad that we would use for our target audience.
How was the concert last night?
Adjustable sound, comfort, style, fashion. So that's how we would be educating our market base there and our offerings for these products. So the more refined styles are going to be just $24. The more crazy graphic design styles are going to be $29. And then the limited edition styles with the artist collaborations are going to be about $34. And these numbers here, the first one on the top, are the estimated amount of the amount of people in the US who attend concerts, and taking in that 8% who wear earplugs and multiplying that by our product gives us that big number there. And in the middle is what you see for our competitors. So that's what we projected that they're making. And at the bottom here is what we expect to receive after having a pop-up shop at like a 3-day music festival with about 134,000 attendees each day.
And that's only considering 0.05% decide to buy our product.
Yes, and then the break-even analysis. So our company is projected to break even at just 32 months. And the fixed costs, these are going to be big, especially the advertisements, because partnerships are such a huge and vital part of our company. It's going to cost a lot of money to hire those artists and those Instagram influencers to promote our product. And legal and accounting support with our designs is vital. And then insurance and website development are also part of our major costs. And we are asking for $150,000, preferably with angel investors, to help give us some direction in the product manufacturing area to take us to great heights.
Fashier, providing you style and protection so you never have to miss a beat.
Thank you guys so much. This is Fashier, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask us. We will be happy to answer, and we hope you enjoy.
All right, thank you guys again. And so any questions you have, fire away.
I'll jump in with just a quick question. If I understand it right, the real need is because concerts are very loud. I mean, is it just that it's a venue kind of thing, right?
Yes, absolutely. And one of the main, sorry?
Yeah, so I was gonna ask then, if I understand that that's the need, is there any concern about this during a pandemic where we're trying to decrease people gathering in large spaces like?
Absolutely. Yeah, that is a fantastic question. We were certainly expecting that one. So the idea that we have kind of taken upon it is that we're using COVID as an opportunity to develop our product before the concerts and music festivals start back up. So we want to use this time to do a lot of MVPs, getting everything set up so that way we don't like crash and burn super quickly. So we have a lot of things, we get a lot of feedback during this time before we go back to the concerts that could possibly come back up in 2021. So right now it's a lot focused on development for that. So we don't plan on like completely launching this right away during COVID. It's more of an experimental phase and something that we can just continue to learn from. So when it does happen, we are ready and we are prepared. Good question.
What's your R&D process like? And I just want to make a quick comment. I'm very nostalgic for the concerts to come back quickly so that you can get your product out in the market. But before all that happens, what's your R&D process going to be like? And how long do you think it's going to take?
Yeah, sure. So that is what we're trying to figure out. That's something that's going to take a lot of time, obviously. So we've been thinking about we just put up our website, a minimum viable product to get feedback from consumers to see if they would actually purchase the product. Because if we can get buyers to actually buy the product or induce buying the product, that like paying the money for it would mean the most to us. Additionally, we're going to continue to reach out to artists and do collaborations with them to get their feedback on the ideas. We plan on contacting the manufacturer and bringing in like prototypes and showing those around COVID safe in public, and kind of just getting as much feedback as possible, and definitely contacting and reaching out to mentors who are in the field so they can give their expert opinion on the matter, and we can just improve and develop further. So yeah, good question.
Is this a product that's already made so that you can buy it, slap a design on it, and then ship it over?
Yeah, that's pretty much the idea. That's the idea. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes it easier rather than building from scratch.
Right.
Thanks, guys. I just have one basic question, and so pardon my ignorance of the concert going market.
No worries.
But so I go to a concert and I buy these Fashier earbuds, and the main idea is for basically noise cancellation of some variety that I can control. Is that correct?
Yes.
do they have a use outside of the concert? Like, can I
Yes.
link it to my phone or anything like that? Or is it just for that event?
Yeah, we are focusing now, especially in these early development stages, to really focus on our target niche market for concerts and music festivals. But we certainly plan out on like spanning into more regular everyday consumer wear. So, you know, for people in apartment complexes, if there's like a lot of noise going on, they could certainly be used then. But they're not like technologically like charged. So there's no like Bluetooth audio, or they don't like receive sound or anything. They're just meant purely for blocking the sound.
And also
Yes,
that
I hope-
because the technology cancels out minus 35 decibels. You can also use it to cancel out noise when you're on a plane or you're in traffic, when you're on a taxi or in a public train. So all these uses come up just as you have your regular day uses as well. So
Or in the library at LMU working on your next project, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and you can look stylish when you have them too.
All right. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank
Thank
you so much for the
you.
questions. Yeah.
Good to see all the judges, everybody. Hi, my name's Ryan, and I'm presenting Lantern on behalf of Chris Hartman, Maddie Isbell, Thomas Chang, who wasn't here for most of it, but he got drowned in a little bit of homework, but he's still part of the team, and then Greg Sopka. So the problem is that when university students come into the university, whatever university it is, if they're a transfer student or a freshman and they're stepping foot onto campus for the first time, it can be very hard to get involved. And that is seen by all these transfer students not really having a clear direction. They don't have any friends established. And for the freshmen, it's the same deal. You have a lot of indirection, but in specifically the freshman case, there's a lot of data that shows that freshmen, while they want to pursue their passion and things related to their passion, you know, events and opportunities, it's really hard to establish that sense of direction. And once it is established, it's hard to pursue that direction. And so looking at how important this information is regarding performing well and engaging with the education experience and how that impacts your job performance and your job preparedness later down the road, looking at how we have 10 years of COVID-related impact, it's really important that now more than ever, students find a way to stay engaged on campus. So when we did a bit of investigating, we found that students really value personalized technology. And what that means is an experience that's only for them, individualized, customized, and that tailors to their pathway in life. And so based on these principles, we started looking at the demand for some type of technology that serves as a very proactive piece of technology that goes into the life of the students and helps them find events. And so we found in our research that there's a very high demand for this type of proactive technology, and students were very, they liked that idea. This is from an Ellucian 2019 survey. So the product itself. So Lantern is a product that boosts freshman engagement as well as transfer student engagement, mainly through all of the different opportunities and events and information that it gives you access to. Simply clicking on one of these boxes will take you to an Eventbrite link or a LinkedIn person, and we use our technology to aggregate this data and then filter it for the individual. And there's an algorithm behind that, but we won't get into that. So first of all, you have your SSO integration, so single sign-on. I'm sure most of you guys who are watching this are students and you're familiar with that process of using the university login to get through here. Same deal. And so once you get through that, there's a simple setup process that starts with your major, your interests, and everything about you. So we get a little bit of information about you into our system. And once we have that, it generates a student profile. You can see a sample profile here of me. And using this profile, our system's able to build you this custom feed for you. And so for instance, connecting with Professor Glossenberg, I could click that and it would take me straight to his LinkedIn page. And this could be based on whether what similar students are advertised and just kind of like using all that data, we can customize that experience for me. And we talked about this idea to David Scazzaro. I'm sure a lot of you guys know him. He's a really awesome guy. He's the manager of research services for education technology at LMU. So he helps make a lot of the purchasing decisions and scouting out new technologies. And he was very fond of this product, mainly because of how much it engages first-year students and transfer students. And it really gets them involved. And we have products like CBA Advantage that are really great for the business school, but there's not something that helps engage people university-wide. And that's really what we're going for. which I'll talk about right now in the placement. So we place ourselves as an undergrad engagement solution, meaning we're trying to get students more connected to the experiences and the experience of college. And on that note, you have, like I've said a few times now, the freshmen and transfer students. Those are the key players who are really trying to get into this, the people who have a very misty journey in front of them, and we want to help hold up a lantern and illuminate that path for them. So as far as promotion goes, we're going to be doing a lot of direct sales, and this is especially early on. We're going to be really pushing the direct sales. That's straight to the people who are in charge of technology and making buying decisions. And we're going to use past sales, and we're going to be tracking our data that we get and seeing how much we can improve engagement on the first campus. And then we're going to use that to market to the next campus and the next campus and the next campus. And so after this, we have hype marketing, which is a term we've dubbed after our form of marketing that we were thinking about doing. So our mission and our vision is all about boosting engagement on campus. So why not have that as part of our marketing strategy? We're going to be hosting all sorts of cool events on campus. And every time a new university registers, we're going to take a percentage of our revenue and plug it straight into our marketing costs. And that is on campus university events. So all sorts of cool things, water balloon tosses, scavenger hunts, anything that will get the students excited and using this app. It's mutually beneficial. It gets them using our app and it gets them outside and meeting people. So for that reason, it's very exciting. So as far as pricing goes, we want to do $13 per student as an annual subscription. Remember, this is university-wide. And so we want to get about 43 universities on this by year 5. And that's a high goal, but we think if we really push our marketing, we can do that. And that would be about 400,000 students by year 5. That's by year 5 though. So it'll be a while before then. So we've really fleshed out the financials here, and we noticed that our main costs are going to be product development. Just side note, I'd be happy to get into the financials after the presentation, as well as the graphic design stuff. But yeah, so cost of goods sold includes the set of cost of each.
Ryan and team, great job really understanding the problem with engagement. I think you can make a really compelling argument that without engagement, you don't have student retention, and student retention problems cost universities millions of dollars a year. So just some real quick feedback. I'm curious about your competition. So for example, at $13 a student, for, if I do the math right, for 1,000 students, that's a pretty hefty amount of money compared to other products that do student engagement. So for example, I'm paying $7,500 a year for the Suitable platform. And I got to tell you, the hoops that I had to jump through to get the university to approve it made it very, very challenging. So I'm thrilled that you talked to David over in ITS, because when you use a third-party vendor to do this and you integrate it with Banner and a bunch of other systems, there are a lot of hoops the university makes you jump through in terms of security and obviously those concerns. So I'm really curious as to how you think you'll get to each university. I like the idea if you do it at one and it goes well, then that could sell another. But I'm concerned about your pricing and also how you think that you'll be able to address some of those hoops and what your competitive landscape looks like.
Yeah, so when we were talking to David, he gave us an idea of how much these products generally go by department. He also gave us an idea of how much these products go for a university-wide level. And looking at really where we want to be the big value add to the university, we figured that university pricing was a must. So we placed ourselves at the same level of pricing as like most learning management systems. In previous conversations with David, he gave me some insight, not into how much LMU spends, he would never do that, but he was just telling me about general costs. He has a lot of good information on that. And so I see this as being as valuable as Brightspace. I would say to look at this as less valuable would to say, well, not necessarily this technology, but this end of the experience. One half of the college experience is in the classroom. The other half happens everything around the college.
Yeah, that's not my question. I'm trying to understand it in terms of other competitors who offer similar things at a lower price.
Okay, so you want to know about our marketing strategy compared to them?
What did you compare it to? Because stuff like this exists on the market, so I'm curious.
Like Suitable?
Like Suitable is one example, which is highly customizable to individual institutions.
Yeah, so in looking at Suitable, we found there was gamification. And when I was doing a bit of research on learning management technology and just education technology in general, and we found gamification is very polarizing. Often when it's used, it's enforced, and that is not necessarily the best way to go about getting engagement because of how polarizing it is. If you're interested, you're hooked. Like if you want to be a part of it, you love it and you do really well. And the students who do that perform really well. But this is designed to be more of a passive approach. A lot of students come into the university not really knowing what they want. They choose business because it's easy. They say it's easy. It's something you don't really know what you want to do. And so in creating like this passive entry where they're able to just type in a few interests, kind of get roughly started, then they have this voluntary path that they can take. And if they want it, it's there. And if they engage with it, they'll actually grow, self-develop, etc. So
could I add one more thing to answer your question? I think that we took Suitable and the price point that they charge per department, and then we extrapolated that to the university-wide price point. So that's kind of how we came to our pricing, to answer that part of your question. Because the whole idea behind our project is to provide connections between schools and colleges within the university. So that's kind of what brought us to our final price point for the entire university.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. Yeah, Chris is really great at the financial stuff and all that stuff. He did a lot of work there, as well as Greg. But anybody else? Questions?
So I got really excited when you were talking about how this is a solution to get the communities to stay engaged, students and the colleges. And then you talked about there's an opportunity right now, people are working virtually. And then you lost me at hype marketing. And I was like, whoa, I thought we're going, this is like a virtual solution to connect and engage. And then the hype marketing kind of threw me off. So that was one thing I'd like you to address. Like if we're not going to go back to college campuses soon, what's your plan B for marketing? And then also, this could also work, just a comment here, this could also work in corporations because big companies, they're looking for engagement as well between their departments. So Microsoft, they're allowing all their employees to work remote now. So if there's a way that you can, yes, get your niche, get in the education tech field, I think you're talking to the right stakeholders, good job there. But also at the same time, think like maybe the corporations could also want a tool like this.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting, we could think bigger. I didn't even think about that. I know that learning management systems have a lot of cross compatibility in the corporate world. So that's really interesting. I like that.
Yeah, and I like that you make Lantern fun too, right? So it's not like all work that has to be, but it can just engage by having like a house party component or something to that extent.
Yeah, I was gonna get into that. I don't know if you mean house party like the application, but
yeah, the app.
So we use this program called Room. Room is a very dynamic web conferencing application. It has built-in games and all sorts of things you can do on it. And we use Room to work on this presentation. We love Room. And so for the virtual half of hype marketing, we can do all sorts of games with real rewards because we have a budget for all sorts of marketing. We can have all sorts of crazy participation events, fun games. There's all sorts of games on Room, and you can even add more. And so we were thinking about doing like video conferencing to make not like you said, not just all work, because half of self-development might be work, but the other half is having those conversations, having good energy with the friends, and really just engaging with the fun side of life as well. So to answer the virtual engagement strategy, it would be a lot of it just through Room and video conferencing, like having a good time digitally, like we have been over the course of this crazy semester.
Got it. Thank you.
Are you ready?
Thank you.